Hi guys, this is an interesting problem. You're gonna figure out what is I to the 15 equal to. Uh, I'll leave this problem to you, but instead I'm gonna do another one that's much more complicated. You would think complicated, but let's see. So how about I raised to power 2019? Okay, 2019. Obviously, yours is just 15. Mine is 2019. So if you follow me here, you should be able to do that one. Now, okay, here's the trick. Actually, this is a problem-solving skill that I really want you to kind of practice. So how about you try to observe the pattern? You just don't be aggressive. You just begin with I raised to power 0, which is 1, right? Anything raised to power 1, power 0 is 1. So what about I raised to power 1? Obviously, it's just I. So what about I square? Okay, remember the definition. I square is exactly -1. What about I cubed? Okay, here comes. How do I compute I cubed? I'm gonna use I times I square. That's exactly I cubed. So what is I square, which is -1, right? So therefore -1 times I is just -I. So what is I cubed? -I. So now let's continue. I to the power 4, okay? I to the power 4, there are a couple ways. One is I square times I square, maybe I square times I square. You certainly can do the I times I cubed, but I just choose I square times I square, which is -1 times -1. You'll get 1. Well, what a coincidence. Here, this is 1, this is 1, right? Okay, let's continue. So I to the power 5. Okay, so I to the power 5 is equal to I to the power 4 times I, right? So which is I to the power 4. What is I to the power 4? We just found it. It's just 1. So 1 times I is just I. Well, another coincidence, don't you think? Well, actually, it's not coincidence. That's the pattern that we try to discover. So what about I to the power 6? I believe you probably can just say, hey, it must be -1 because on this side it's -1. You are correct. So how do we do that? So we could do this. I I to the fourth, okay? Uh, actually, well, I to the fourth is fine. Times I square, right? I square. So what is I to the fourth? I to the fourth is just 1. We discussed that. I to the fourth is just 1. So this is 1. And what is I square? It is -1. So therefore, 1 times -1, you get -1. Okay. I to the 7, which is, you might know it's going to be -I, right? You are actually correct. So let's just see how we can do that. So it's going to be I to the 6th times I, right? And what is I to the 6th? We just get that from above, which is -1. So -1 times I, which is -I. Now, I certainly do not expect you to do this until you hit the number 2019. But I certainly want you to develop this observation. So do you see that this is a cycle of 4? It comes here and then it repeats the values, right? So therefore, if I ask you, what is I to the 8th? And you're gonna know I to the 8th must repeat the numbers repeat every fourth, the cycle of 4. So therefore, when I find, by the way, you also observe that uh, here this row is all multiples of 4, 0, 4, and 8. They will get to 1. The next row, 1, 5, and here this would be 9, and so on and so forth. The power should be I. So you just look at the so with this observation, I know that it goes in cycle of 4. So I'm gonna divide this 2019 by 4. Okay. So therefore, this is 5. This is 20. 1, 0, and 9. This is 4. This is 16. Okay, this is what I need. This is really what I need. I see the remainder is 3. So when you do this division, the remainder is 3. Okay, so the remainder, there are 504 cycles. I don't really care. I know they will repeat. I just want to know after the repetition, when does it end? So it says the third one. It should end the third one. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. I know that this must be my answer. -1 must be my answer for the I to the power 2019. So again, um, how do you figure that out? When the remainder is 0, then you're going to pick this one. Actually, this 0 tells you the remainder is 0, then you pick this one. Oops, I think I picked the wrong one. So the remainder is 1, then you pick the second one. The remainder is 2, then you pick -1. The remainder is 3, you should pick this one. I made a mistake that for some reason I read it wrong. So I apologize for that. So now the remainder is 3, so therefore I know it's going to be, my answer should be this one. So it's going to be -I. Now I hope that you enjoy figuring out I to the 15th.